Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the WCBC. It is Hunted, and I have Pasadena from Upper 90 here with me. Pasadena, you just took that series 3-0. Congratulations to you. And first things first, I just want to know, how has it been to be Upper 90 this week?
You know, it's been really surprising, really interesting. Personally, I never thought something like this would happen. I didn't think we got picked up by anybody, especially not an organization known for their sort of NA teams generally. But yeah, very happy with it. And we've been working with a coach, Coach Curtis, and we've just been going through lots of replays every day, live analysis, all that sort of stuff. Really cool. Glad to be a part of it.
Well, I know for you personally, you had a little bit of an upgrade in location, I guess you could say. You were playing on a laptop for the qualifiers, and last week you're on your PC now. How has it been?
Amazing. There's no other way to put it. Absolutely amazing. It's like water under the bridge, you know? It's like, playing on 20 FPS at 480p. It wasn't even 480p, I'm not gonna lie. It's like I could count the pixels on my hands, no kidding. But like, it's really nice to be off it, not kidding. And to have some stable internet. I was like playing with some really freaky Wi-Fi every now and then. But now it's back on Ethernet, got a nice 245 hertz, all that nice stuff. It's lovely.
Well, next week you've got the Sakura Blues on the schedule, and they had a good week last week. They're upcoming in our next game that you actually get to cast. So, what do you think? How do you think you match up against the Sakura Blues team?
This will be really interesting actually, because Sakura Blues, I know they can be very, very fast when they want to be. In particular, the Alice Crimson combo can be very deadly. I think Crimson is very well known for her mechanical abilities, and she's a bit of a wild card at times, and that can be quite scary. So all of a sudden, you can have this ball just lofting way over the pitch, all the way everywhere, and then suddenly there's a double touch that you have to save out of nowhere. Then Alice is this sort of player that tends to keep the play grounded, make sure the midfield plays are coming through, and then Rose sort of just wraps everything up. She's like a mix between the two of them. Great mechanics, great awareness on the field, all coming together to make a really good team. So I'm excited to play against them personally. I know them all personally too, so it'll be nice to sort of have a reunion of sorts.
Right. Yeah, it's certainly one of my matchups to watch for the next week. And while I've got you, one little final piece of information, just because I like drama. You and Ducks in a 1v1, who wins?
Oh, we actually played recently when I was on my my poopy laptop, and I got destroyed by Ducks. I'm known as a 1v1 player, but guys, I'm not a 1v1 main, not anymore. I used to be. I'm not that good at ones anymore. But yeah, Ducks any day of the week.
All right, well, we're going to have to set that up. That should be part of our content package here at the WCBC one of these weeks. Pasadena Ducks 1v1. But Pasadena, thank you so much for coming in for the interview. Well played to you today, and I look forward to your cast here in the next series.
Thank you very much.
Here, and you will hear Pasadena in just a moment, as we will be right back for the Sakura Blues versus Basic.
And welcome back here for our game 2, or our matchup number 2 here between Basic Bees and the Sakura Blues. I am joined by our guest caster Pasadena and RJ, who's always a phenomenal caster for us. Welcome.
Hello, thank you for having me.
Yes, thanks for the good welcome, and thanks for having Pasadena. Not to point anyone out, but this is Pasadena's first time on the mic as a caster, so it is mega hype, and Basic Bees and Sakura Blues kicking off right here.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see what happens between these two teams. So you have Sakura Blues, who are very offensive, and I think that's, at least statistics-wise, you see that Basic Bitches are a much more defensive team. You have Fuchsia with, I think, the most saves in the entire league, really holding her own in the tournament and keeping her team alive.
You're seeing the first 30 seconds, SKB really pushing up on the blue half, Crimson following that up in the corner. Cat taking it out. Alice waiting on the wall, not quite getting that touch. Crimson taking out Allie in the back line. Fuchsia taking out Rose as Allie pushes up with that. Alice stopping that, and it is just a midfield game.
Midfield game. This far, I'd say, it's looking like more of a Sakura Blues game, to be honest. A lot of offense, sometimes getting to midfield, not often getting out of there. Sometimes Sakura Blue are backing off a bit too much, though. It's in Crimson pushing up a lot. Alice following in lieu of that, and a nice goal from Alice.
Exactly as you were saying, the one time that they push up, they get that goal. A smart demo by Crimson taking out the lonely Cat in net, and Alice knew to push up on that. Impressive.
Yeah, the difference maker here is going to be seeing Rose pushing up confidently behind Alice, I think, because I think Alice is typically a player who's going to be most comfortable in that third rotation. And as I say that, Aliba May scoring a nice goal off a pass from Fuchsia. It's a really good goal here, really good pass, sorry, here coming from Fuchsia. Multiple touches on the ball, very difficult to read for a defender. Very difficult to read for a defender.
Indeed, and putting it right in the middle, right in front of the goal there, that's not a move that a defender would usually expect for the pass to be so out there. So impressive play, and Crimson coming in off of kickoff, showing us those top scorer skills.
Yeah, I'm expecting to see Crimson scoring quite a lot of goals in the series. When you have a team like Basic Bitches who are kind of very defensive, relying on Fuchsia's sort of saves every now and then, you're going to have a lot of times where the ball is being uncontested. And in situations like those, scary mechanical players like Crimson are the players who are really going to make the difference. And it's going to be relying on Alice and Rose to keep all that together, so sort of supporting Crimson. And just as I say that, a fantastic redirect from Rose with the pass coming in from Alice by the looks of it. 125 kilometers per hour, you can't react to that in time. Even with Fuchsia being as good as she is at saving these shots, no way of saving that one.
And for the Americans in chat, that was 77 miles per hour. What a fast shot, and what a good push from SKB. Cat almost taking that shot off the kickoff. Rose there to stop it, putting up Crimson on the side.
Yeah, it's been looking like a great game so far. We have the manager, or a manager of the pre-flip gang, Cat, trying to support Fuchsia in defense as much as possible. And it's looking like not good enough, though, with a fantastic pass from Rose going straight to Crimson. Love to see it.
Basic Bees pushing up on the kickoff. Alice on the back wall, stopping that. Fuchsia challenging Alice there, taking it around the corner with another one of those multiple touch passes. Cat almost getting that shot on goal. Does eventually get cleared out. That is 3 minutes left on the clock. Sakura Blues up by 4 to 1 goal from Basic Bees.
It's looking a bit rough for the Basic Bitches team. Fuchsia getting beaten out by Rose, almost by Crimson. Aliba May coming in clutch with the clear. Getting re-cleared by Alice straight into the corner. Nice clear from Fuchsia. Coming over to Crimson, over to Rose. He's got the shot down. Not fast enough. Too low, too slow on that one. Cat with a missed touch. Going to give a pass to Alice, who's down to Rose. Rose is not there to equal it, with Crimson sweeping, trying to keep them in the game. At 1-4, looks like Sakura Blues have got quite a comfortable game ahead of them if they can keep this up. So we're looking to see Basic Bitches changing something up, trying a new strategy. And a new goal from Fuchsia coming in, making this 2-4 with 2 minutes and 9 seconds on the clock. Aliba May with a lovely pass to the side. Really difficult for that defender to get around to that. And Fuchsia, of course, just Fuchsia things.
Just Fuchsia things indeed. That is a hard, slow pass, and Fuchsia was just there to put it in the top right. Fuchsia taking out Alice straight off of kickoff. Crimson banging that. Fuchsia taking out Rose. That is 2 demos in a few seconds. Too aggressive as Crimson puts that in.
A hat trick from Crimson. She gets a nice dribble. Cat missing that. Quite a difficult read, but a read that she should have had nonetheless. Aliba May was left behind to get a ball that she could never really have expected to come through. And it's looking like, once again, Sakura Blues are getting away with this match. So hoping to see less saves coming in from the basic bitches again and more on the offensive side. And I really feel like Fuchsia's just going to be leading this at this point. But if Fuchsia's up trying to make all these saves all the time, then Fuchsia also can't be there to make the offense happen. Looking at the scoreboard, it's looking like Kat on the basic bitches team is struggling to get some points with only 2 shots and nothing else to her name currently. So I'm interested to see how this match develops, and I'm hoping, well, not for another Sakura Blues goal as we've just seen.
Yeah, good analysis there. I wasn't thinking to look at who's making shots on both teams, and you're right. Want to see less saves coming out of the basic Bs and a little more pushing, but pretty impressive that SKB has this much momentum out of their first game.
Yeah, they are very much a momentum team. Once Alice and Crimson start getting confident with their plays, it's going to be very difficult to stop for a team that's relying so much on control as basic bitches. And I think basic bitches are perhaps relying on Drea, the Irish superstar, otherwise known as Fuchsia, to carry the offense a little bit too much. They're really going to have to start changing something. And a nice shot from Aliba May, all the way from her half, a snipe, coming all the way across 68 kilometers per hour. I'm not sure that would be for you American folk, but a comeback is perhaps mounting with 49 seconds left on the clock.
Fuchsia is the expected star striker, but Aliba May does have 2 goals to Fuchsia's 1 so far, but it seems like with time they're getting a little more confident. Fuchsia pushing up off of kickoff. Almost getting it through Crimson. Aliba May missing that on the wall. Fuchsia back to stop that. Turning around on it, Rose stopping midfield. Last 20 seconds here, Crimson taking a shot and getting it in.
A great play here from Sakura Blues. So you have the nice pass coming in from Alice over to Crimson, the dynamic duo at it again. These girls have played together for so long now, and once you start playing with people for a very long time in Rocket League, you sort of develop this sort of chemistry. There's no other way of saying it. It's a sort of like a soul bond that you guys have, and you understand each other, you understand the decision making that's going on. It leads to these fantastic passing plays as we're seeing right now.
How long has SKB been together?
I'm not entirely sure. They've had multiple rosters. So this is obviously their WCBC roster. In the past, they've had Sniper Kid on their roster, I believe, and I think they're looking to make an RS run. But right now, they're trying to make a WCBC run, with Sakura Blues winning 7-3 in the first game of the Best of 5 series.
Ooh, and what a game it was.
Yeah, it's been really exciting so far, actually. It's always a pleasure to watch players such as Crimson just sort of, well, you have Crimson on one side and Fuchsia on the other, the sort of the battle of the titans, I suppose. As dramatic as that sounds, sometimes with teams, it really does come down to which player is, in air quotes, popping off on the day. But I think basic bitches are going to need a lot more, as I have reiterated a few times, than Fuchsia to just pop off. And we're really going to see Kat to start coming in as more of a support role, because there's no way Fuchsia can use her mechanics to make these goals happen if there's not that third person behind. It looks like Kat is really struggling in that situation. No goals, no assists, no saves to her name, only 2 shots.
Mm-hmm.
So coming into the next game, I am hoping to see some innovation from basic bitches, and Sakura Blues can, I guess they can continue what they're doing. It's working out pretty well for them so far.
It is working out pretty well for them. They did get that 4-goal lead, so we'll see if Basic Bees can change it up to put SKB off their game. Game 2 kicking off.
I'm not sure if I just missed on the last game, but Rose is in the Dominus. The Dominus is very different from the Octane. Tends to hit the ball a lot harder, or at least that's what the community will tell you. So maybe Rose is hoping to be in more of a striker position this game. It looks like the Sakura Blues are doing absolutely fine in terms of offense, and it's actually Basic Bitches who are going to need to have the offense coming in. A double commit with Fuchsia and Liebe nearly going in. This is leaving Kat, who has been the weak link of this team, in defense. And will that be a goal? Yes. Alice getting the shot immediately on the punish. Rose with a good challenge on Kat, with Alice getting the 92-kilometer boomer. Fuchsia just can't save it.
And I think the key to that play was Rose's challenge. That was a good 2-point challenge. I forget who she was dunking on, but that really set Alice up and really sets up their momentum for this match.
Yeah, challenging into the Dominus. What are you going to do? The cereal box challenge is almost as large as the infamous Batmobile in that sense. The Octane is a much taller car, not as long, but in challenges which are favored towards going down towards the ground, you'll have the Dominus, as long as they can get above the ground, getting much more favorable challenges against the Octane. When you have Kat in last position, facing against Rose in the Dominus, that's a tough matchup to make. Rose nearly using that Dominus to get a boomer into the goal. Crimson left behind, trying to re-clear. Past Fuchsia, who's beaten out. Kat with a good interception. And Rose on the miss with Alice left behind. Alice makes a fantastic catch on the wall, and Fuchsia's missing. This is not what we want to see from the Basic Bitches if they're to win this game.
Kat with a clutch save on defense. Crimson pushing up with that. Liebe stopping Rose for a second, but not for long enough. She eventually puts it in for the second goal.
Yeah, speaking about that Dominus again, just look through that challenge. There's no way you're getting past this. Such a long vehicle, that flip, the linear velocity of that flip is very high, very difficult to push it past that Dominus. Bit of miscommunication on the kickoff here from Sakura Blues, as they're 2-0 up with 3:15 left to go. On the scoreboard, you're looking at Fuchsia actually struggling to get into this game, and Crimson. So it's actually a bit of a reverse of what happened last time. Liebe is actually doing a fantastic job on both sides, though. In both games, she's been very present, doing very well for her team. And we're seeing Kat come into it a bit more, which is really what I want to see, personally.
I don't know if you saw there, but Fuchsia was demo chasing Crimson from the bottom of her goal out through the top. Fuchsia almost pushing it past Alice. Alice getting it over Liebe. Crimson going for that shot. Kat and Liebe both double committing on that, but saving it out eventually. Alice taking out Kat, potentially for making that save. Fuchsia flicking it over Rose and on target, but Crimson is there.
That was very dangerous. Fuchsia having the dribble against Crimson, who was equal to it. Rose now with a nice touch, nice control over to try and challenge Liebe, who will get beaten. And Fuchsia getting bumped on the wall, but not enough. As Fuchsia takes it down, looking to do just Fuchsia things against the Sakura Blues roster. A pass now coming from Alice to Crimson. Alice gets the nice touch into Kat, who re-clears it over to Crimson. And this is currently ping-ponging back and forth. Fuchsia again beating over Crimson with a nice shot over, and Liebe nearly conceding a goal for the Basic Bitches with a unsatisfactory clear.
Fuchsia coming in hot. I was not expecting that. Liebe making that strong clear. Crimson not quite knowing what to do back, and Fuchsia just cutting that all the way from the left side to the top right of the goal.
Yeah, Fuchsia, known for her freestyling abilities, actually has played quite a lot of ones in her time, even though she might not tell you that. She's pretty scary if she has the ball by herself. And the Crimson Wings squad are going to... the Sakura Blues squad are going to need to make sure that they prevent Fuchsia from getting any sustained control over the ball. Nearly a fantastic pass coming down from Crimson, but it's looking like there's a bit of disconnect on the Sakura Blues squad coming through. Kat left on the own, should be through to Liebe, who is equal to it. Crimson beaten. Rose with the pass across into Kat. Kat rooting it into the corner. Alice with a fantastic pass down to Rose, who nearly gets a fantastic shot again. The Sakura Blues squad are really on fire today, so it's quite fitting they're on the orange team, whereas the Basic Bitches are looking ice cold, but not in the good way.
Rose putting that out mid. Also, sorry, that was hilarious. I got stuck in my head because I always think Sakura Blues blue, but isn't Sakura a type of like flower?
Yeah, so Sakura is actually, I think, a flower which has originated somewhere. Well, has some sort of Japanese connection, as far as I'm aware. I might be mistaken. I think Alice is primarily known for her love of Sakura flowers. So it's fantastic to see this sort of personality coming through for the teams. Don't know what that says about the basic bitches, though. I guess we'll be seeing that further on through the series. Now, a miscommunication on the basic bitches team as Rose gets a dribble over Cat into Fuchsia, who gets a fantastic clear out. 1-2, there's 2 seconds, 1 second. Basic bitches need to make something happen. Fuchsia not equal to it. Aliba needs to get this clear back in. Miscommunication between Cat and Aliba. And the miss, Fuchsia keeping it up though, is still going. And then Alice gonna let it drop. And that is Sakura Blues 2-0 winning this game.
Much closer game than the first one, but still a tough one for Basic Bees. What are we seeing different on the scoreboard with this one than the last one?
Well, if you look at basic bitches, they have a very good distribution of points. So you have Aliba coming in with 400 points, Fuchsia again up to 400, and then Cat at 300. This is a really nice distribution. It's much more evenly distributed than Sakura Blues. But don't be fooled, the points from basic bitches are actually coming a lot from their saves. Saves in Rocket League probably give them most points, especially epic saves. And we're seeing lots of saves, and statistically, basic bitches are a team who have many saves, and actually not that many shots. You could say this is a counterattack team, but the more shots which are being put on goals, the more opportunities you have to score. Once those opportunities start to stack up, eventually one of them will go through. It's not a valid strategy to continually make these saves over and over again, especially not a team as aggressive as the Sakura Blues. As I say that, the server goes down for maintenance, so I suppose we'll be getting a new server.
It really do be like that sometimes. At least we get to look at the stats a little longer.
We do. I've actually got some notes on the basic bitches here, which might be interesting. So basic bitches are currently 5th in the league standing for the WCBC, going 2-3 against Witchcraft in their last series.
Hey, I wonder whose team that is.
Yeah, I wonder. What a team. And interestingly, as I have stated, basic bitches have the highest saves in the league thus far, not counting this game. They have 18 saves from their last series, much higher than any other team.
Mhm.
And Fuchsia actually has 8 saves, 8 of those 18 saves at 1.6 saves per game. And Fuchsia also has the highest shooting accuracy, 1.8 shots per game, with 44% shooting accuracy. But don't take your eyes off Aliba, who has actually got the most shots for her team, with 10 shots in their previous series, but only 0.6 goals per game. So it's looking like Aliba is putting on a lot of pressure for her team. Not necessarily scoring all the goals here, though. With Fuchsia being that sort of all-reliable player coming in just when you need her, scoring these goals absolutely weren't necessary. And Kat, actually, out of all the players in the team, has the second lowest points out of any player. As I spoke before, a lot of points come from saves. So not many points coming from saves either. And at only 25% shooting accuracy, the lowest of a team. Again, I will reiterate that it's really down to Kat to make the difference for her team in this. And if we're going to see a reverse sweep, I really need to see Kat coming in and communicating more with her team and just having more of that aforementioned chemistry.
And I love how you're breaking it down to numbers. That removes a lot of the bias of knowing both teams. And if you hadn't brought those to me, I wouldn't have expected that Kat would be making so much of a difference. So I'm definitely going to be looking out for her in this last game.
Yeah, when you have 2 players like Aliba and Fuchsia on the same team who, again, have that sort of dynamic duo. So we have the Aliba Fuchsia versus Alice and Crimson, then you could say that the real battle here is actually going to be between Rose and Kat, and who can show up on the day. As I say that, Fuchsia is showing up into the sky with a fantastic clear over to Aliba, who passes it to Alice. Not a fantastic touch. And maybe some issues with the server. Players asking to remake. I suppose we'll see whether this request is granted or not.
Yep, it's before 1 minute, so we will hit that remake button. Yeet.
Server remake is fair game. Obviously, Rocket League being a game which is played over a network, it's very important that players are treated equally, all have an equal. I'm not sure I call that. In terms of parity, it's very good to make sure that all players have the ability to request a new server when possible. As was put in the chat, it's 1 minute after the game started or less than. So going to see a remake of this, and well, just like to reiterate, I really like to see basic pitches coming through here again, because it's currently looking like a bit of a slaughter from the Sakura Blues. Flowery as they may be, they are deadly.
And I forgot who was having the connection issues, but they said something about a virtual server.
Yeah, virtual servers are these sort of servers which crop up every now and then from Sarnix in an attempt to sort of clone servers. And lots of players don't like playing on virtual servers because they tend to have worse connectivity problems. And I think Rocket League servers are generally known for their widespread connectivity problems. As I say that, though, we'll be seeing two players connect on the kickoff, Crimson and Aliba, getting a nice kickoff going in the favour of the Sakura Blues squad. Cat getting a touch, which is taking Fuchsia out of the game. So not a great start for Cat. We need to see proverbially pop off in this game. Rose getting a fantastic challenge on Cat. Fuchsia looking like, well, not looking like anything. Nowhere to be seen. Rose with a fantastic touch. And we're seeing a lot of this from the Sakura Blues squad. Lots of small touches, keeping possession, which is going to be a real struggle if basic pitches have any members of the team who are struggling to keep up. It's going to be players who are isolated, players who are boost starved, and giving a lot of space to Crimson in doing that, who is going to be their sort of star striker, hopefully. As I say that, Crimson gets the shot, nearly saved. Nobody with the assist here, but Cat, again, just the flip committing too close to the wall. Aliva tries to make the save, not good enough. With 4 minutes and 11 seconds left on the clock, it may be all she wrote. It's looking like the previous games were a sort of premonition of what was to come.
Yeah, and it's nice to see Crimson score again after the last game where she surprisingly had 0 goals. Not something I'd expect for her. Maybe a bit of a mistouch from Fuchsia on defense, but the rest of Basic Bees is able to get back in times that it is a dangerous spot for them. Rose pushing that up, only Rose and Aliba back, and Crimson faking that out and getting it in.
Crimson here styling on Fuchsia. She could have taken the shot at any moment. It was open, and Fuchsia just getting, well, to be fair, Fuchsia didn't flip for that. She didn't fall for it, but it was kind of a lost cause, I think, from the Basic Pitches squad. 2-0, 3:46 left on the clock. Basic Pitches need to do something in this series, otherwise it's going to be over for them with a sweep coming through for Sakura Blues, which is not what we want to see at all. So hopefully, seeing that Cat is up in the air, hopefully she can get her points up in the air above the Sakura Blues with many shots, many goals in this game. A nice contest from Fuchsia. Alice going beneath the ball. Rose contesting Aliba quickly, but not quick enough as Cat gets a shot. And there we go. We're seeing her back into the game. 122 points so far. 1 shot, 1 goal. 100% shooting accuracy.
Ooh, and there's our game changer. A good challenge from Aliba on the right side of the field. That's what set that up, and Kat taking the chance and pushing up to midfield to take that shot. Love to see it.
Yeah, Catalea, the manager for Preflip Gang and Rocket Assault, looking to put an assault on Sakura Blues. But saying that, she gets an assist to Fuchsia. She's passing off the assault to another player. Fuchsia with a fantastic dribble off the kickoff. This can happen sometimes if there's a slight miscommunication between players, or one player goes back too far for the boost. So it's 2-2. We've actually wrapped it up. We might be seeing a reverse sweep potentially coming through if this can continue. Cat in the corner is trying to support Lieber, taking Fuchsia out of the game though. Seeing Crimson trying to get a pass down to Alice. A fast shot from Alice, not fast enough. Rose coming through, missing the shot, but then again the dribbles coming back through. So looking at Kat here, 30 boost to a name, and a nice pass over. There could be a goal coming through, but Alice is faster than Lieber on that. And a miss from Crimson. I think that shot was actually in, perhaps, and she just missed that. Looking to see Kata here again. Good challenge. Rose being pushed back into the wall. Hoping to try to clear out. Nobody following up, though, and Alice is left alone. Fuchsia with a fantastic shot. Not fantastic enough. Nobody to follow up. If basic bitches want to make the most of the early goals they've had, they need to make sure there's always that third person following up on Fuchsia's touches.
Fuchsia taking out Crimson in the back line, helping enough to get that in. Tough save.
Just Fuchsia things. Fuchsia known for her pre-flips. Not a pre-flip to be seen here though. Just two fantastic flips. One from the wall and then one from the ceiling. I think fantastic shot, 3-2. It's looking like the Irish superstar at 17 years old is doing a fantastic job of making sure her name is known throughout this tournament. I know when I played against her, she is very scary. Not somebody you want to at your goal line. With Alice making the miss though, we're seeing Fuchsia again with this possession. A ceiling pinch nearly going in. Rose equal to it though. Kat keeping the pressure up nicely. Alice against Lieber, over a Lieber, onto Fuchsia. Crimson's there, nearly the double touch. A miss from Sakura Blues, not able to finish on that assault. Seeing Fuchsia coming through again. A Lieber on the clear out, nobody there. Fuchsia making one of her at this point patented saves, but not here as she lets one through. Fast shot from Alice, 129 kilometers per hour, and a nice pass from Rose to add to that.
Yeah, it was a tough save. I didn't see who was back on basic Bs, but Rose had a shot that was actually probably as fast and on target, but it just got saved right out to Alice. Fuchsia coming in hot off of kickoff. Alice stopping that. Crimson up, trying to follow up with it. Aliba challenging that. Rose beating her on the wall and taking it up and almost in, but Fuchsia is there on defense, and we all know how she is on defense. Crimson coming off the ceiling. Last touch on the ground to regain control. Alice in that same side that she got her last goal, but it's not enough. Cat onto the backboard, and Fuchsia puts another one in for basic Bs.
A fantastic goal from Fuchsia. One-upping on Alice's 129 km/h shot, quite literally, with 130 km/h. The Drift Queen coming in the air, deciding not to stay on the ground for that one. 4-3, we're looking to see maybe a win for the basic bitches, which is going to be a fantastic tale to tell the kids in the epic showdown between the two sisterly teams. Crimson against Kat here, looking to see Kat with a great challenge, as we saw there. Rose not going to be contesting that ball any longer as Fuchsia gets the clear out. Aliba May as consistent as ever. Fuchsia being beat there, nearly a goal coming in. Hopefully Kat get a fantastic block. That was absolutely amazing coming in from Kat. We're seeing her blossom, perhaps not into a Sakura flower, but definitely into something that Sakura Blues are not wanting to be against. Looking like 4-3 is going to be the end of this match. A double commit in the last second could be scary. Fuchsia is equal to it. 4-3 to the basic bitches as they go 1-2 in this series. Very exciting.
What a crazy game. It just kept ramping up. We started off slow, and then right at that last 2 minutes there, Basic Bs and SKB were going back and forth.
Yeah, I mentioned earlier you have this sort of Battle of the Titans, Crimson versus Fuchsia. We're seeing Crimson with 600 points, Fuchsia with 700, dwarfing the point counts of the players. One thing to point out, though, is the Fuchsia had the most saves on her team, the most goals on her team, and 8 times the shots of her teammates, or 4 times the shots of her teammates combined. That is a massive difference. We're seeing Fuchsia absolutely popping off as expected. And And Sakura Blues are going to need to adapt now. They're going to need to change things up. They can't just keep doing what they were doing because Fuchsia is getting possession, too much possession, which is causing a lot of problems for the Sakura Blues. And we're seeing Rose at the bottom there. She, as the person who's keeping it all together, it's going to be on her to make sure that Fuchsia doesn't have the final opportunity to get these goals through. So I'm looking to see that from Sakura Blues. But personally, I'm hoping for a game 5. A game 7 even. Very excited to see this all come together.
Me too. I don't know how Fuchsia plays under pressure, but it seems like she's building up momentum. 1 goal in the first game, 1 goal in the second game, and 3 goals in the third game. Think she's going to keep racking up those goals?
I apologize there. I said best of 7. I actually meant best of 5.
Yes.
That means we're going to be seeing less of our beautiful teams coming through. Speaking of beautiful, a great pass down, but not met by Aliba May. Crimson with a great touch. Alice equal to it, and Rose getting a miss there. White Zombers blinding the opposition, hopefully. Crimson coming through, and Rose getting the nice re-clear back into Fuchsia. But as we said earlier, we want to be keeping this ball away from Fuchsia as much as possible, otherwise Sakura Blues might be having problems. Speaking of problems, looking like some problems on the basic bitches side, and it was looking like the fake from Rose took Cat out of the play, who backflips instead of pre-flips on the line, and now it's 0-1, 4:26 on the clock.
What a shot to start it off. That was a smart play from Rose. If that hadn't gone in, maybe SKB would have been a bit out of position, but it was worth it, and Crimson puts a second one in 45 seconds.
Excuse me, Sakura Blues, what happened here? Seeing something very strange happening as Rose tends to go for a flip reset, and then Crimson just barging her out of the way, saying, no, I've got this. I'm your star striker. You can't take this crown away from me. Or Tiara, perhaps, in this sense. So we're seeing Alice again coming through, trying to carry the Sakura Blues squad to victory. She's probably going to be the most clutch player here, the most consistent of the squad. 4:07 on the clock as Crimson gets yet another goal. Maybe the dynamic duo is changing over to Rose and Crimson by the looks of things.
We have another request for a server remake.
Yeah, I'm quite interested to see how this one plays out. Obviously, there's been a lot of goals scored. Looking like that's not going to be approved or allowed. So no remake coming in there. So it looks like the basic bitches are going to have to make do with what they're given. Alice with a fantastic challenge, keeping it in. The basic bitches half. Alice on her own now against Fuchsia. This will be interesting. Alice with a great save to keep the Fuchsia at bay. Cat on her own now. Shot not fast enough. Not looking for Fuchsia, looking for the goal instead. Rose looking for the ceiling shot. Over to Crimson, I think, who is just not there. No faith. Alice again trying to get the re-clear. Unsuccessful as Cat contests Rose. Rose beats out Cat. Aliba pushing up over to Crimson, uncontested as Crimson pushes it further down the line. Fuchsia has got some possession of her own. Will that be a goal? No! That was an opener miss from Fuchsia. Just Fuchsia things, I suppose, in some ways. Looking at the Sakura Blues squad dominating still on the scoreboard with Aliba, who's normally been the player to tie it all together, with 8 points in this game.
Alice flicking that up, but Fuchsia is ready for it. Fuchsia back on Crimson. It is to the backboard. Rose popping it straight out mid for Aliba to take advantage. Pops right down. Cat missing that touch to score it, but Aliba still getting that shot on goal. Another close one. That is 2 coming out from her, but Alice there to save it.
An epic save from Alice to keep her squad in it at 3-0. Although they would have had 2 goals as a sort of protective shielding after that one. Once the comeback begins, sometimes there's no stopping it, so they're trying to keep basic pitches out of the game completely. Looking like it's successful currently with only 150 left on the clock. And basic pitches are fighting for their series life here. It's looking like a series point for Sakura Blues, who are looking to challenge the boards. Alice comes trying to get a ceiling shot pinch with Crimson, almost successful. Rose keeping it slow, trying to get possession. Rose versus Cat. Cat's successful, who goes straight into Crimson. And it's looking like the ball is lofting on the line, not for long with Fuchsia about. Crimson with a nice shot on. Alice looking to touch it down to Crimson, but no faith again. But Basic Bitches team leave the ball alone, and Crimson gets a beautiful shot off the drop down from Alice at 87 kilometers per hour.
What a beautiful team play back and forth between them. Fourth goal of this game from SKB, and crazy that Crimson and Alice were working together. First 3 goals of the game, we saw a combination of Crimson and Rose, so it's nice to see the usual duo back at it to finish it off, and Rose puts one in for herself.
This is not looking good for the Basic Bitches team. Crimson, Fuchsia getting bumped off the ceiling, then bumped into scoring an own goal. When team morale is low, goals like that have got to be absolutely crushing for the Basic Bitches squad.
Fuchsia almost coming in off of kickoff, but too high, and Cat's not able to rebound. Fuchsia and Oliva committing on that. Fuchsia getting that over Crimson. What a good challenge.
Redirect from Fuchsia, the pass from Oliva, who's been quite quiet this match. And a beautiful pre-flip, actually. I didn't notice that. Fuchsia known for her pre-flips. That one's going to be going in some sort of video, so you can expect to see this someplace within the coming weeks. Fantastic shot from Fuchsia. 1-5, looking to have 4 more of those. So get your hopes up for the Basic Bitches squad as they try to use the last 40 seconds of this match to make the difference here.
Oliva pushing up with that on the wall. Alice stopping. Fuchsia trying to rebound. Rose holding on tight to that back wall. Cat trying to come down on Crimson. Fuchsia turning on it, and it is in. Ooh.
The Irish superstar showing up again, but she will need to show up 3 more times if she wishes for the Basic Bitches to be in this series still. 30 seconds left, or 28 even. Going to be seeing some kickoff action between Rose and Fuchsia here. Rose coming out on top, straight to Crimson, looking like a planned kickoff. No boost for Rose, who collects the boost in the corner. Alice is isolated alone, bit of miscommunication. Crimson coming in quick. Aliba trying to get the pass across is successful, but not successful enough. 10 seconds, 8 seconds, 7 seconds. 7 goals scored this game. Only 3 seconds left in the game, and that's looking like it's going to be a Sakura Blues win at 3-1 for the series. GG's and well played.
What a series. I actually thought Basic Bitches was going to be able to turn it around and maybe get not even a whole reverse sweep, but more games, but I am happy to see them take that one game.
Yeah, I can absolutely guarantee you Fuchsia is over the moon with that match, managing to get a pre-flip in there. I think that's what she lives and dies for at this point, is her legacy. So I think both teams are coming away from this with a win. It was an exciting match. It was very exciting to watch. I apologize for some of the mistakes I made along the way. I had a fantastic time watching this, and I hope my commentary was sufficient. I hope it kept up the tension of the matches. And thank you guys so much for having me.
And I had a fantastic time working with you. That puts the SKB season record at 2-0, and it puts the Basic B's season record at 0-2.
All right. That was a phenomenal one. Great job, Pasadena. Thank you so much for joining us. And RJ, of course, always amazing. We will be back very shortly with our next matchup here. But before that, we're going to try and get an interview going with one of the winners of the Sakura Blues. So stick around.
Hello and welcome everyone. We're here with Rose from the Sakura Blues squad. Please welcome Rose. We're going to be here conducting an interview with her. We have a few questions we'd like to ask. First of all, Rose, very excited to see you play. Good old friend. We've played together lots.
Yep.
What was it like going against the Irish superstar Fuchsia?
It was a bit nerve-wracking, not gonna lie. We knew that she would be like a really good player to kind of like watch out for, but we just kind of tried like playing ourselves, just laying everything out, not really being nervous, not really thinking about who we're up against, but they were also in the back of our heads, I will admit.
How did it feel to have that pre-flip scored against you in the final game?
Look, all I'm gonna say is I feel sorry for Bella Crimson because like we were kind of like earlier on there was a pre-flip which was done on me, and we were worried because we thought we were gonna get scored on by it. And when that happens, it was damaging. Let's say that.
Well,
Yeah.
don't you worry. Bella's legacy will be continued ad
Hopefully.
infinitum. She will be in one of Fuchsia's videos, I'm sure, and you'll be on the VODs, which you can watch back at any point. So on to Hunted, who has a couple of questions.
Yeah. Obviously, we know that Alice and Crimson, they've played together for a very long time, kind of the dynamic duo, right? How has it felt to slot in with that team? Obviously, you've gotten at least what it seems like you've gotten used to playing with them. How's that felt in the first couple of weeks?
I would say that it's been really comfortable. I play with them in the Drama Alert tournament. I played with them in the past before, but every now and then, not really isn't a proper team, but I kind of know them like inside out, and I don't know, it's just been really comfortable. The comms are like super good. Yeah. So it's been I don't know, it's just really comfortable to play with them, I guess you say.
Well, I have one final question, and I think I am the best person to ask because your opponent is in the room with you right now for next week. How are you feeling about playing against an upper 90 team that has looked so good these first 2 weeks?
Honestly, not too bad. I mean, we played against Kate and her team before. Not exactly the same team. Obviously, now they've got Caro and Ducks, but we're still looking to just play how we were. Looking obviously to win, obviously, but yeah, we're trying to get the nerves out. Just we're happy with this result. We're gonna keep this result in our heads. Know that we're 2-0 up, and hopefully carry it on into week 3.
All right. Fantastic. Love to hear from you, Rose. We should play again sometime soon. Thank you for answering the few questions there. And I hope everything goes fantastically for you. Not the next series, though, that you play, which will be against me. Don't worry. I will make sure to make you feel welcome in that series. I'm certain. So that should be over to Pretty. We should wrap this up now.
Yeah, and thank you so much for joining us for the interview, Rosie and Pasadena, and Haunted for doing the interview. Right up next here, we're going to have Chaosy versus Boosted E-Girls, so stick around. We'll be right back.